Hello everyone, how's it going? Happy holidays and all that good stuff. Today we're going to be creating a snow within GameMaker without the use of the particle system at all. So this is just a quick and simple way to create snow without having to get into all the, particle system stuff. That can be a bit confusing when you first start out. So is this the best way to do snow? Not at all. But this is a way to do it, and it's not a bad way at all. So the first thing I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to create my snowflake sprite. So I'm going to name this SBR Snowflake, and I'm going to edit the sprite, and I'm going to make it 16 by 16. Yeah, that should do fine. And I'm going to grab a white color and then use a circle tool and make it the full fill. And I'm just going to make a little circle like this. That is just perfect. Look at that. So we got a highly detailed snowflake here. Next thing we're going to do is create a new object. I really don't like that. We're going to name this OBJ Snowflake, and this is just going to be the basic object for a snowflake. So we want to create the sprite for SBR Snowflake, or set the sprite to SBR Snowflake, and now this object will show up as that sprite. Now, we don't really have to do much in the SBR Snowflake. We have to, in the create event, we're going to do a few things. We're going to say x is equal to random room width. So what this is going to do is as soon as the object is created, it's going to move to a random position along the width of the room. So that way every time the snow goes to fall, it falls at a different position. And we're going to say vSpeed is equal to 10. And that basically is just going to make it go down. The next thing we're going to do is in the step event, we're going to drag in a bit more code. And you only need to add this if you want your snow to kind of look like there's a bit of wind. If you want it to blow a bit, we're going to say x minus equals 3. So what that's going to do is it's going to make the snow, pretend my mouse is a snowflake. Instead of the snow falling like this, it's going to kind of fall this way a bit. So just a bit of an arc there. Alrighty, so that's basically everything for the OBJ Snowflake. Next we're going to create another object, and this is going to be known as OBJ Snow Control. You can really call it whatever you want. I just call it Snow Control because its purpose is to control the snow. It is going to be spawning the snow and all that stuff. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a step event, and we're going to drag in some code. And there are a few steps to this. So first thing we want to do is create a new variable inside the step event, and we're going to say var snow random is equal to seal random 15. So you might be looking at this and you're just like, what is going on here? So first off, var basically allows us to create a new variable within the step event without having to go into the create event. And random is going to generate a random number between 0 and whatever number we put after it. So since we put 15, random it's going to generate a random number between 0 and 15. And then seal basically makes sure that number is not a decimal. So if we get like 12.823, it's just going to round it up for us. So that's really helpful. So now we're going to get a random number between 0 and 15 thanks to this line of code here. Now the thing is, we want to make sure it's random every single time, and the way GameMaker works is it might only generate the random number once, and that's it. But so to make it so that it's a random number every single time and it doesn't keep reusing the same number, right above it we're just going to say randomize. And all randomize does is every time it sees a random, it's going to make sure that it's a new number that it didn't use the previous time before. So that's really helpful. So if it chooses like a 12, it won't choose a 12 again. If it chooses a 3 and it goes to generate a new one, it's not going to choose a 3 straight away. It's going to pick a new one. So that's really helpful. So we've got randomize here, and we've got var snow random, which is just our random number. Now next we're going to say if snow random is equal to 1. Now if you don't know, if you put a double equal sign, that's kind of just saying like if it's equal to. I believe in GameMaker you can also just put a single equal sign, but for the purpose I'm just going to put 2. So if snow random is equal to 1, then instance underscore create 0 0 obj snowflake. Okay, so you might be looking at me and saying, whoa, one second here. It's equal to 1. You mean a 1 in 15 chance? Like it's never gonna spawn. You have to remember that the step event runs every single step, which means it's running a lot, which means the chances of getting one are quite high. And well, actually, it's the perfect number for us to do a nice snowing effect. Now we have instance underscore create. So we're going to create the snowflake at the 0 and 0 position, but you have to remember that we've set the X to be a random room width. So as soon as the snowflake is created, it's going to pick a random room width along here, and then it's going to fall because we set the v-speed to 10, which means it's going to fall. So it's going to be created, find a random point around here, and then fall. Now we should go into the OBJ snowflake, and let's just add randomize onto the top once again, just to be sure that this random room width will be random each time, because you can never be too careful. Now let's create a new room. I'm gonna make mine just a dark blue, maybe it's nighttime, and I'm going to throw in the OBJ snow control. You don't need to put in the snowflake since the snow control will spawn it for us. Now I'm gonna hit the check on that, and let's hit play and let's see how this looks. Alrighty, so as you can see, it is now snowing, and it's snowing a bit diagonally here, which is a nice little effect. Now if you want it to snow more than that, maybe it's a blizzard, you can always up the value, or sorry, you can lower snow random. So you can set this to 5 will be a maniac. I'm just going to change this room size to 640 by 480, just so it's a bit smaller and we can see it a bit better. Alrighty, and now it's going to, of course, you're going to see a lot more snow. Now, so this is, of course, a very basic system. You can always go into the particle system and start doing stuff, but, you know, this could be your first game in GameMaker. You just want to do something nice and easy. So there you go, guys. We've got a really easy snow effect, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you come away learning from this. Maybe you learned about random numbers, or you learned about creating variables within the step event. I don't know, but I hope you learned something, and I want to wish you guys a safe and happy holidays, and I'll talk to you all later. Happy deving.